Back to our channel. This is Living Opera, the channel for singers and everybody interested in classical music. And this is a live broadcast with Instagram.
Yes.
So here we go. Norman is going to talk to us about his experiences about 3 years ago. Going back in time. I'm going to set the stage and then you're just going to like.
We're going to go back in time.
Okay.
There we went. We're back. We're back in time.
Whoa.
It's incredible.
We
took everyone with us.
Guys, do you feel 3 years younger? 3 years ago, Norman was sort of at this point in his career where a lot of us want to get to, where he was making the really big debuts, right? Baden-Baden, Paris, Baden-Baden, Paris, Salzburg Festival.
Places like that.
So Norman is singing alongside Cecilia Bartoli, because he did about, 4 productions?
We did 3 productions together, and then we did 1 concert thing together.
Okay. And so we are in Paris. We are staying in Avenue Montaigne, right? Above
Champs-Élysées.
Above
right.
Chanel.
Yeah.
It's just beyond crazy. And this was sort of because Madrid happened that winter, right? Also,
Madrid
or a year earlier. I can't remember.
Happened January. 2016.
Okay, and this is October
of
2016. So this has been kind of a long year, and it's your birthday, which should be great. But instead, I had no idea because you are very strong and very strong-minded and determined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And very private.
And very private.
Even with everyone.
Even with me.
Even
hey,
with
Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
So I knew that he was having a hard time, but I didn't know to the extent that where his mindset was at that point. So, I'm trying to be supportive and make sure that he feels well, and I'm traveling with him on his gigs and stuff like that. And he's doing his debut at the Champs-Élysées alongside Cecilia singing Poglione and Norma, sounding really great, really, really good. But his mind is all over the place, which I would find out later. Yeah. And I know that one of our main supporters of Living Opera, Olivier, was actually in the audience that night.
Was he?
Yeah, actually, he went to all the shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
thanks, Olivier.
We didn't know each other yet, or we would have tried to help you get a ticket. So anyway, this is your birthday 3 years ago. You have your debut. And now I've been doing a long intro because basically Norman, is it intro? That's my Canadian accent. About? Intro. Yeah, my Canadian accent sneaks in sometimes. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so yeah, I'm doing a long intro for you. Because you're going to now tell us, what's up with that? Sorry, guys.
Yes.
Okay, we were watching SNL before this.
Before, it may have been a mistake.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Alrighty. Yep. So I'm gonna drink my coffee.
So
let you do this thing.
No, basically, the first thing about this is in this particular case, this was dealing with performance anxiety. It was dealing with nervousness and on all those kinds of things. And one of the things about it is once it begins, everybody's nervous. So it's not about you go from not being nervous to suddenly then you're nervous all the time. That's not what this is. It's beyond
it's a debilitating
just a nerve, and it really is. It is. It's debilitating. So, for whatever reason, there was a period where suddenly there was something in my mind. Maybe it was just I was exhausted from traveling so many years without really resting.
Years
I'd already gone 15 years and not really resting, and so it was starting to catch up, and I just kind of got tired, and there are many things, contributing factors to this kind of stuff. But anyway, but this particular thing really started in January of 2016, and then it began to slowly show itself more and more. And this particular experience wasn't the worst of it. It actually got worse beyond this experience, but this is just kind of near the beginning. One of the things I want to say about this before I talk about it, 2 things actually. Number 1 is I'm now better, and so now I'm fine and I'm normal again.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
So great.
Number 2, whenever anybody experiences, because everyone does, maybe not performance anxiety, but nerves and that kind of thing. But if you ever do go through a period where you're experiencing really intense or heavy anxiety with performance, hey Edgardo, your video was great today. Talk to people about it, but I must say I would recommend when you're in it, don't talk about it publicly.
Yeah. Don't go on Facebook.
Don't go
Instagram,
on
Facebook
Instagram Live.
Like,
don't go on and talk about it. Go get help and deal with it that way, but don't do it on a public forum.
Yeah.
Because you do have to.
Can we stop for 1 second?
Yes.
Can we just talk about how? Okay, we love
you guys
Edgardo,
too, man.
And
love you too,
Edgardo
buddy.
is literally, guys. If you're not following Edgardo Rocha,
follow
go
this guy.
immediately
He's
and
fantastic.
follow him.
He's
because
awesome.
he's like literally one of the shining lights in this business and such a sweetheart.
One of the best. Go find him.
Definitely love him so much. So just go do that, and you'll be super happy that you did. And you'll see also a very cute video of him and Norman.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm so sorry, babe, but we
No,
tried.
that's fine.
Sometimes it just had to be
good.
said. Okay, it just had to be
That's
said.
good. But yeah, so whenever you're go when you're dealing with it, deal with it in private, and then if you want to, when you get on the other side of it, then if you want to talk about it and help people with it, then do it that way.
Yeah, and this is also
and
like
that's what
kind of the basis of why we started this project. Even is because like at the culmination of all those experiences.
Yeah.
It was like we talked to colleagues and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've been through that. Oh yeah, I had to go to a therapist for 4 years." And you're just like, what?
Exactly.
Like, because we didn't know. And that's why we didn't talk about it, because we were like, well, obviously we've got a problem that nobody else has, and we're weird and all of that, and so we were trying to manage it on our own. And that's I made the little video yesterday about 3 signs of burnout, because like it's very subtle when it starts, and you can really take a lot before you just collapse.
Yeah.
And so
and that was actually the thing. Probably I think that was the catalyst for this, was actually I was burnt out.
Yeah.
And when I got to that point, then it went over into this other thing. So, so anyway, this particular experience, I'm just going to talk about one, because this is.
We'll talk about other ones.
This is the fun. This is kind of in retrospect, it was terrible.
We're doing it,
in the time. In retrospect, it's almost kind of like, wow, this is hilarious.
Yeah, but it was at the end of a long period,
but it was,
and you were
anyway,
starting a
so
change.
what ended up happening
Boom.
is that, we're doing Norma, it's with Chile, it's in Paris. It's my birthday was the premiere. We did 4 performances, and so we go and in Norma, if you don't know Norma, for the tenor, the first scene is really the most challenging. Hey, Gabe. The first scene is the most challenging of the scenes at least for me. It was the most challenging of all because it's about 12 minutes scene. You've got a big recitative, you have an aria,
you got to sing a high C,
Zwischenspiel, and then you have the cabaletta that you do both verses. So, and so anyway, I went to do this thing. I walked out, and we start. The piece starts, and then there's a chorus, and then a little arioso from the bass baritone, and then he comes out. Polioni comes out and does this first scene. And so I walked out. Once you get on stage, you just kind of go. I mean, you don't have.
There's no warming up.
There is
You're
no.
Just there.
There's no choice. It's one of those things where you have to, either you push up against it, or it just squishes you.
Yes. Amen.
And so I was always, bye Daniel. And so I was always somebody that would, fight against it as best I could. And so anyway, I go out, you do the recit, do the aria, it's all right, it's whatever. I'm not having a very nice time, but I'm out there. And
I was in the audience. You sounded great. Because I know you, totally I was like, oh, he seems like he's not having the most fun, but it is the opening.
It sounds fine, but it's just
no, it didn't sound fine. It sounded great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. So anyway, I do the scene. I finish the scene. I walk off stage. Now, the reality is, I'm actually a pretty good judge. Generally, I'm a very good judge of kind of where I am on the spectrum of what I've done. If it's good, I know it's good. If it's medium, I know it's medium. If it's bad, I know it's bad.
Never really bad though.
This was kind of in the I don't know. It was good. It was good.
Was
in
good.
reality, it was good. There was nothing wrong with it. But when your mind is where my mind was, this was disastrous. And so I remember it was so funny because your mind just lies to you. It just lies to you. And so I finished the scene. I do the last whatever it is, and then I walk off. Hopefully it didn't sound like that, but anyway, I walked off stage. I walked past Cecilia because she has to go out and sing Costa Diva.
Yeah.
And so she's got the hard part. And so then I pass her. I go up to my dressing room. I go in my dressing room, shut the door. I'm almost having a panic attack. And I'm in the bathroom looking at myself in the mirror. And I said, that's it. Your career's over. You're finished. You're done. You're done singing. That's the end. I said, you can quit. I said, but you have to finish the show. That part I'll never forget. Because I had to tell myself, you have to finish the show. Because I was ready to just lock it up, walk out the door, and be done. And I said, and so I said, okay. And I did. I just went out. And the rest of the opera was, fine. Even for how I felt in my current state.
People are like, no.
Bless your heart. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much for it.
But
the truth of the matter is that, and so what ended up happening, that kind of was the catalyst. And then over the next 2 years, sometimes I would be like that, sometimes I wasn't. It would depend on what I sang.
How prepared you felt.
How prepared I felt, the difficulty of the music, all that kind of
all
stuff,
of
the demands.
Yeah.
But most of it, I never felt like that.
So weird.
And, but there were other times. And I was always a person that, because I'm very private and generally I'm very strong, and I would go out and perform. So you couldn't really tell that anything was going on. You couldn't tell that I was having a problem. You couldn't tell that, because my singing was fine. My singing was totally fine.
Yeah.
And my work was fine. The stage, all that was fine. So anyway, but what ended up happening is the pressure of that and the weight of it, eventually it started with burnout, then it went into performance anxiety, and then it ended with my physical body just said, we're done.
Yeah.
And the last year of where I dealt with this at its worst, I was sick, physically sick for every contract I did.
Yeah. And
which was,
almost...
I think I did 8 contracts that year, and I was sick for 7 of them.
Yeah.
And I always performed. I never canceled. I did all the shows. I did everything. But my body was just like, you can't, you got to stop, dude. You got to figure this out, or this ain't gonna work. So anyway, and after that year, that season ended, and I was like, okay, we have to fix this. We have got to do something about this. We've got to deal with it.
Yeah. And can I just say something too? Like, what was so hilarious is that the theater was super happy with Norman because he sings wonderfully and he's such a great guy, and it was his birthday, and they knew it was his
in
birthday.
Paris? Yeah,
and
Paris,
so there's actually, if you scroll way back, to 3 years ago, there's a video of everybody singing Happy Birthday to Norman, and Cecilia too.
After this experience.
There, and
it's
the cake
hilarious.
is there, and you can just go and see it.
Yeah.
And you see, this is part of, I know that we want to talk about all the nice things, the parties and the successes, the premieres, all of that.
Which are great.
And we were living that, but the reality was
great.
that he was having an internal struggle that was very real. And so there was the cake and everybody dressed up and the party and the after party and all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But the truth is he was really suffering and he didn't know how to manage it because he had never, in one sense, been taught about some of the other sides of this career and how to manage all of that psychologically. Which is just something that you, depending on what kind of person you are, because some people can just go out and it doesn't affect them. Mm-hmm. But other people need strategies for that. Mm-hmm. And so, anyway, that's kind of what happened. I mean, that's almost I mean, that's 3 years ago, and like since you've been better, that's almost a year and a half at this point.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
Like completely
totally,
better. I mean,
totally
that's
fine.
pretty amazing.
And it's also one of those things that's funny. You hesitate to talk about this openly,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons why we run around and we were talking to colleagues and you say, well, and it's not like I was going around talking about this, but sometimes
we didn't tell anybody.
Sometimes it would, it comes up in conversation, and almost without fail, they were like, well, we've had to deal, we do this, but I started thinking, I was like, man, nobody talks about this openly, and it's something that everybody experiences. Yeah. And frankly, that's just stupid. I'm sorry, but that's dumb. Now, like I said before, when you're going through it and you're in the middle of it, I don't recommend talking about it openly.
No.
Talk about it when it's
within your circle.
Within your circle.
That's okay, but don't go and
don't
go on your YouTube channel, on your Facebook and Instagram, and like no.
Don't do that. We don't recommend that.
It's not good because I don't want to go into why that's not good. Just don't do it.
Well, I can tell you one thing that's not good about it. Should I tell them one thing that's not good about it?
Sure.
You want to be careful because the reason that I was hesitant to talk about it is because sometimes, if people in the business see that this can, this person is dealing, it can kind of be a negative thing.
Yeah.
Even though everybody experiences it and they all know it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that this is a thing. Everybody knows. Everybody in the this is not a surprise.
Yeah, well, it's not opera exclusive. I'm
not,
sorry.
It happens.
We see it
if
all
you're a
through,
performer,
yes,
it happens.
Or any high pressure job.
Yeah.
You can talk to doctors and lawyers and
exactly.
managers and whomever who have a high pressure job, and they'll say that they've struggled with this kind of thing. So, okay, I think we told the story. We're gonna do questions.
So
let me just wrap that up for YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all of you who I can't talk.
Oh wait,
thank you.
I want to wipe it up with one thing.
I'm sorry.
No, the point of saying all of this is not just to tell you, the thing. It's to say two things. Number one, it's perfectly normal and it's perfectly fine. You're not alone.
Yes.
You're not by yourself.
Yes.
It happens to everybody.
Yes.
That's number two. Number three, go get help. There is lots of help for it. There's a lot of information. There are people who help with all this stuff. And so they're professionals and they know how to deal with it.
That's right.
So go do that. Go talk to people and it will help you a ton. So
yes.
And that's what I have to say about it. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem, but just, deal with it sooner than I decided to, because I didn't really know what was happening. That was another.
Well, yeah, I mean, we didn't know the signs. That's partly why we're talking about it now.
Anyway,
so Instagram, just 1 second. So thank you so much to everybody watching on YouTube. Thank you for the support of our channels of Instagram, here on YouTube and Facebook. And we hope that you will subscribe. And thank you so much, because I really do this every time. And
that's true. She does. I've seen her do it.
And yesterday I did a gesture for myself, which is probably pretty weird, but I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was also exercising.
It's an exercise.
But I was like, I had to do it because we're up to 173 people, and 173 of these is not easy. Go try it. So thank you so much, YouTube, and we will see you next time.
Have a great day. Bye.